track. Don't pursue the flesh. That's easy. Anybody can do that. But pursue the spiritual track. Pursue Christ-likeness. Be the kind of person who is a disciplined Christian. Not because I'm always emotionally there, but because I know that this is what God is calling me to do. Look up and see the lost and the hurting. Even among you guys, I'm sure there are people out here who are on the outskirts, who may not get a whole lot of attention, who may be the loner. Look up. Sometimes we're walking around and we just got our head down and we're always focused on ourselves. But this is calling you to look up and keep that chin held high so that you can see that you're in a good place. So let me, in my good place, be able to help someone who is not. And more on that later. And lastly, pray and deliberately and methodically come alongside someone. Pray and love them. Come alongside them. But do it deliberately. Not because, okay, Jeff told me, hey, can you go minister to that person? You want to. Have a genuine desire for it. I want to make these points, and I don't know how many of you would fall into this category of the Christian loner. But pay close attention for the person who is and the person who is not. Okay? Some people are Christian loners because they choose to be. They put themselves into this box and they say, nobody likes me. Nobody wants to be friends with me. I'm just going to be by myself because I know I can handle that. But when others come and they try and they just fail me most of the time. And so let me just do this thing by myself. So they might be in that category. But some people feel like they have no choice but to be a loner because they keep getting hurt. Because they keep trying and they keep putting themselves out there, but they keep getting hurt. So they feel like they have no choice. But to that person I say, Christ died for you. To that person I say, I'm sorry for what you're experiencing. I'm sorry for the hurt that you're feeling and you're going through. I'm sorry. But being in that position of being on the outskirts, feeling like you're not as important, feeling like people just don't care. One thing I would say, and it's written right there, is that there is more of Christ, more of Jesus Christ to be known through Christian friendships. Here's what one person said. Don't give up on finding the never-failing friend because other friends have failed you. Okay? Don't give up on finding the never-failing friend just because others have failed you. So many people, I know personally, I have people in my own life, in my family, who I try to minister to. But they feel like they constantly, they try. And sometimes they think they try. But I would say when they even do try, it's kind of like standoffish. You know the ones I'm talking about? Where you try to talk to them, but they're just very cold, not have much to say. But sometimes it takes a great deal for us to step out of our comfort zone and to be able to minister to somebody like that. But at the same time, I would say, for Christ's sake, forgive those who've trespassed against you. Forgive those who've hurt you. And what I would also say to that person is, and it's written right there, be to others what you long others to be for you. Be to others what you long for others to be to you. So if you want to be loved, show affection. Show some love to people who may not deserve it. If you want relationships, then devote yourself to relationships. Then you must be the one who puts that effort, even if others aren't doing it for you. Because that's a humble heart. The Christian loner who is by themselves is sometimes doing that because maybe a little bit of pride in that too. They may not recognize it. You may not recognize it. But I don't want to talk to them. They're probably not going to say anything good anyway. The things that they're saying, they usually end up hurting me. But these are, I think, truths that you can hang on to. That for Christ's sake, forgive others. For Christ's sake, long to be to others what you want them to be to you. And lastly, I would say to the seasoned co-laborer, it's easy to give up, but here's a challenge. 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, beloved, my beloved brothers, be steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. I know Pastor Andrew, he clings onto this verse because ministry is hard, and I don't even get it as much as he does. It's not, I still have my own job, but he's in full-time ministry. So he clings to this because it's so easy to give up. It's so easy to give in when even if you're a full-time minister or if you're volunteering, it doesn't matter. And let us endure for Christ's sake to hear him say, and this is what I long for, this is what I try to cling to. You guys remember the parable of the 3 servants? And Matthew 15:23, the master said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount. So now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." That's what I long to hear. Well done, good and faithful servant. And let's celebrate for this spiritual legacy that you have left behind. I know I've said a lot. I know there's a lot of information that's being thrown at you. But I would encourage you guys to even do your own study of this. To learn what it means to really to minister to someone, even if you don't feel like it. And to look up and to see the dying and the hurting among you guys. Let's not even look at the outside, although you could. There are people on here, they don't show it because they're trying to hide it. But they're hurting. And they're lost in a lot of ways. So that we might put ourselves out there, and whether you're the loner or you're not, whether you're a person that's being ministered to or not, that you might, for the sake of Christ, do these things. Not when you feel like it, not because you feel good today, but because you know this is what God wants you. So I think I'll close there, and I will say a short prayer, and then I'll pass it along to Brother Jeff. So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you go before us. I pray that what we have shared today might truly seep into the hearts of these young people and older people as well. I pray, Lord, that these things might truly make a difference. That your word may not return void. Father, help us to know, help us to believe, and help us in faith to trust you. And to leave all the consequences into your hands. And I pray for the person who's in here who was having a hard time just staying alert. The person who is out of it. The person who may not have gotten a whole lot from it. I pray, Lord, that you may convict their heart that you may help them to understand that what you have in store for them is a mighty and good thing. And I pray for the co-workers among this church, that you may help them to endure to the end, so that they may hear, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And Father, I pray, Lord, as they're continuing in this study of community, that you may truly enlighten their minds through your word of what it means to support one another. That we might be a community of mutual support. So we thank you, and we pray that you go before us now. In Jesus' name we pray.